criminal is gonna think twice if he knows everybody is a piece underneath their clothes. And Mayor Lightfoot will probably tell you different, but have you seen Chicago?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's the Laughing Libertarian. I'm your host, Alan McFarland. Most of you probably know that because you're coming back to hear what else I'm going to do about Samson here. Well, you already read it. So a lot of people gave me a lot of suggestions. I appreciate that. So we're going to go with What About Us today. Again, I haven't seen this. I am wandering into the dark Samson hallway, completely blind with a stick and not even a dog on a leash for me. So anyway, before we dive into that, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Comment. That's huge. I mean, obviously, subscribing is huge. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. If you're going to share, I feel sorry for your friends, but hey, they're your friends. So if you like this, well, they're going to judge you, not me. So there's that. Anyway, Josh, you want to make this happen, bro? That is so true. We see it every day in every facet of life.
Don't tread on me. Those are words that I stand by, homie. It doesn't mean I'm gangster. It doesn't mean I'm country. It means that my life is in my hands only. I don't have money for
Can we stop that for a second? Just right off the gate, man. I was gonna say right off the cuff. You got me on words. But I mean that don't tread on me. And he said, I'm not gangster. I'm not country. That's one of the huge misconceptions of being conservative at all, or being libertarian. It's literally as soon as you're like, hey, I don't have to do what the government tells me to do. I will abide by the laws. I don't really like most of them, but you know what? I will abide by them, but I won't do this extracurricular crap that you're pushing on me. People look at you and they go, you're dumb country folk. You have to be dumb if you don't listen to the machine, right? Whatever happened, I mean, think about that. A lot of people like to say, yesterday's Democrats are today's Republicans. But I mean, think about that. The 60s, the 70s, these people who didn't trust the government were hardline Democrats, and Republicans were the ones who trusted the government. And now that's kind of flipped. And a lot of our detractors just don't like that. We must be stupid, right? We must be, inbred, or we're not educated just because we ask a couple of questions. So last time I checked, science is never resolved until all the questions are answered. And even then, it's still just a theory. Let's roll it.
I don't have armed guards that I keep snug around me. You don't think I deserve protection like you do, and that means you don't give a fuck about me. Gated community, that's what you live in. Hatred and mutiny, that's what we live in. So come down here and hang with us for a minute. See if you leave with the same fucking opinion. Who's gonna help me out if I get robbed? What if somebody were to beat up my mother? Who's gonna be there to save our lives? You? Nah, me, motherfucker. I'm the only one that's got my back. It's dog eat dog, these are not no cats. There's cops in Michigan that can't even respond to their calls because their cars ain't got no gas. Great. Police don't have any fuel. You don't know if they'll arrive when you call them. The babies are starving. My girlfriend can't find a tampon, and yet somehow you and I are the problem. Somehow. I've never...
For a second. Yeah, I mean, think about Chicago, right? Like, we're in Indiana. We're in Indianapolis. And so Chicago is a hop, skip, and a horrible jump away because we're not trying to go there. We can't take our guns. And with their crime, it's ridiculous. And you look at the different things they've done to neuter their police department. You can't chase in a car because that person's going to run red lights and hit other people and hit pedestrians and someone's fancy poodle in the upper district. But now they've actually dialed it back to where you can't even chase the perp. Like literally the guy commits a crime. If he breaks off in anything higher than a speedy walk, fast walking it out there, making sure one of his feet's on the ground at all times. If he's faster than that, you can't chase him because he might take a hostage or hurt someone walking down the street. It is ridiculous. Instead, they go, we'll just check the cameras and we'll try to figure out where he's going. Man, come on, man. It's so much easier just to let people arm the people and let them defend themselves. It's crazy. It's like Demolition Man. Right? It's like Demolition Man, right? Oh, we're going to freeze them and let them come back later rehabilitated. That's fantastic. Hey, and remember, Taco Bell's every restaurant. So, go ahead.
Bought a gun without having my background scanned and approved. The only loophole I've seen on a gun is the one that you put a fucking lanyard through. It's not true that you can go to the store and just swipe your card and get a Glock and run. It's funny, the people that say that shit have literally never even shot one. Dumbass. Hey, Matthew McConaughey. Shut the fuck up. Just cause you murdered people on screen doesn't mean you know shit about guns, you dumb fuck.
He's from
What,
Texas,
you worried
too.
About us? What about all of those violent movies that you played? How about you go talk to Alec Baldwin before you start telling me what to do, okay?
Damn.
Reality, I was horrified by it. That's your hometown, you were born right by it. It probably cuts deep, and I hope that it does, cause you work in an industry that glorifies violence. It's more your fault than it will ever be mine. The Lord only knows how many crimes that you've influenced throughout your whole career, cause I've seen you kill people plenty of times. What do you think is gonna cause a shooting? A YouTube video of a gun review? Or a Hollywood murder scene that seems so realistic it looks like it's from the news? So next time that you wanna point your finger with a stupid opinion and chime in with it, remember, it ain't me that they're trying to be like, dog. It's you that they're trying to mimic. I feel way...
Yeah, man. How many, Josh, and I look off screen all the time. So anybody's watched these videos know my producer's Josh. He's over there. I talk to him. I talk to you. And maybe I talk to myself. But when we were younger, all the violence we saw was about video games. Violent video games are causing these kids to do these things. Well, first of all, violence goes back to the old times if you read the big book. But I'm not going to go off on a Bibli tangent right quick. But here's the thing. Movies. I mean, there are far more people watching movies than there are people playing video games. And so when you're watching violence in movies and things like that, I'm not saying it's going to make you be violent. God, I've watched so much violence in my lifetime. It doesn't mean I'm going to go outside and shoot somebody unless they really deserve it. But for any of these people, especially somebody from Texas, come on, man, you're from Texas and you don't support guns whatsoever, but you're also in several movies that are based around violent people. Man, come on, read a script. Maybe if you want to be that way, if you want to judge everybody else, when you read a script that has any kind of violence in it, put it down, decline it, pass it on to somebody else. Maybe you'll be just fine financially. I don't know. I don't care. Eat your damn ramen if you're down to it, but stick by your principles. Don't put them on everybody else when you can't do it yourself, man. Go ahead, sir.
More safe in a place where the people are legally armed. If something happens like a mass shooting, I have a way less chance of being lethally harmed. The criminal is gonna think twice if he knows everybody is a piece underneath their clothes. And Mayor Lightfoot will probably tell you different, but have you seen Chicago?
Oh,
and no, before you ask, I don't want to be like Canada either, and I don't want to be like Australia. I'm sick of everybody using them as a humanity meter. There's a reason that they can do
Did he mention Canada?
Their citizens, like, fucking throw them in
Oh, is it time to talk about Canada? Let's kill it for a second. Canada, where they want to take your guns away, where they actually are taking your guns away, where they're making it harder to even get more guns. And every 6 months or so, they're making extra regulations so you can't have them. But you can kill yourself there. Actually, it's one of the top ways to die in Canada is just straight up killing yourself. Euthanasia, buddy. You can't buy the gun unless the gun's strapped to an apparatus that puts it on your head so you can kill yourself. You can't get most things in Canada, but you can kill yourself. And I know Josh and I are probably going to rant about this on something here, but it's just too much fun to let you know that Canada says you can't defend yourself, but you can kill yourself. Ugh. And I'm so happy you mentioned Chicago, man. That was fantastic. Let's get it, man.
Government doesn't even try that shit because they know that they can't. If you don't think for one split second that if we didn't have our Second Amendment, the government wouldn't overstep its boundaries and make us do shit even when we're against it, you're out of your mind. I don't give a damn where you stand or how or what you vote. That's dandy and fine if you trust Uncle Sam, but I, for one, fucking don't. And why would I?
I love this guy.
Give me a reason for me to believe them. They want to trade me a little security in exchange for a big ass piece of my freedom. They don't want to take away guns because they care about you and they want to keep you safe at night. They want to take away guns because it's easy to control people if they don't have any way to fight.
Hey buddy, what your little AR-15 gonna do when the government comes to take it?
Well, Ukraine started handing out rifles to all of the citizens when the Russians invaded, so what about that? I thought it wouldn't help. I guarantee that it'd be better than nothing. I hope it never does, but if the day comes, I bet that you're gonna wish that you had something. This is
What's
the
crazy?
only country.
Stop that. They wanted us to donate our guns, right? Like, oh God, who was it? It was an actor. It was an idiot, right? A guy who gets paid to pretend he's somebody else for his entire life, almost like a trans person. But that's a trans person with a paycheck. Anyway, so he was saying, like, I need to pull it. I hate talking and not having it in front of me. So I go, bloop, maybe I can find it before we post it. But he was like, just think if all these crazy people in America actually donated their AR-15s to the people over in Ukraine so they can defend themselves. And it's like, not having them is why they're in this fucking place in the first place. You know, not having them is what puts you in that position. Why the hell would I give up my guns so they can defend themselves because they didn't have guns so that we no longer have guns to defend ourselves against, I don't know, the U.S. government? Jesus Christ. So, Canadian euthanasia. We don't want that. I mean, they can spread it in California. I don't really care. Like, I don't really care at this point. We've already given away, a war criminal who can find arms everywhere. Maybe I'll just hit up the Merchant of Death and say, hey, bro, I need about 10 ARs. If you can get that little selector button on them too, that'd be fantastic. Fuck that tax stamp. Anyway, let's get it.
On earth where the people have real strength, and nowadays with all the shit going on, it's the only thing that makes me feel safe. If there's anything that I've learned in the past couple years looking back at the pandemic, all of the shit that we have is fragile and it could snap at any second. Fuck all of the politicians, I don't trust anything they say. Take the word gun out of gun control and that's all that it is at the end of the day.
Facts.
I don't give a fuck how crazy you think that I look or I sound when I say this shit, but our Second Amendment's the only thing that stands between us and a dictatorship.
Oh, I like how that ended.
And as for the kids, I'm not a security expert, so I won't act like one. But I think that if we can send over $50 billion to Ukraine, we could surely spend that much, or more, or less, here in our own country to fortify our schools and make them more secure so that every kid can get an education safe and sound. Place several trained armed guards in every school across America. Real men who won't stand by for 45 minutes in the hallway while a shooting unfolds in front of their own eyes.
Get it, Uvalde. Get it, Uvalde police.
Pay them well, too. There's veterans that need the work.
They need the jobs.
Why not protect our kids the same way that we protect you? Politicians are protected by guns. Celebrities are protected by guns. Every important person that walks this earth is protected by a gun. But our kids, they're important. Just not as much as you.
Right. That's yeah, definitely support Samson, man. He's awesome. I'm so happy you guys are giving me these different videos to watch, man. This is great. And what really gets me is it takes me back to a meme from when King Obama was in place, and shows him, and he's got all this gun control. We got to oh man, you got me doing this Trump thing now, Josh. You got me doing this. It was Obama. So anyway, there was this picture at the time in which Obama is preaching gun control, gun control, gun control. Let's get these guns out of everywhere. We don't need all these guns. And it shows him walking down the street next to his transgendered wife. And literally you have Secret Service, you have security, you have all these different people flanking him, people flanking those people flanking those people. And you already know that there's also people on all of the rooftops within a half mile or more of the route that he's walking. And guess what all of them have? They all have guns. They all have guns. Every single one of them have a gun. Why would they need that? I mean, guns are bad, right? Or guns are only good if the government has them in their hands. And that's what we're being taught. It's almost as if we're back to the same old argument of, what was it the left kept saying? They kept saying that guns should only be in the hands of trained professionals, like police officers or the military. And then suddenly police officers became bad and the guns shouldn't be in the hands of the police officers. No one should have guns. We should just settle it with our words, Josh. Just settle it with our words. Hey, stop. Oh, wait, I can't chase you because I'm in Chicago. Yeah. Lori Lightfoot, fuck off. You guys, though, you're fantastic. I really appreciate you. Can't wait to hear some of these comments you're going to drop down there. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to keep these coming. We're going to hit a couple other artists. And go ahead and check out, some of the other things that we do that aren't reactions. That'd be great. But until next time, be safe. I'll talk to you then.